Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back and welcome to Orange County's very own. I am your host, Makai Louie. Thank you for tuning in. I To start off this episode, I really just wanted to take this time to say thank you guys for all the love and support and all the kind words and feedback I got from the last episode. Me and the team are gonna continue doing a series and format that we did last time, and just talk real, man. Talk real life. Talk about my journey, the trials, challenges, and tests that I'm going through on a daily basis as I work towards achieving my goals, my dreams, and my visions in life. And hopefully through my life and the things that we talk about here, it'll inspire you, and get you into a place where you can start having that control over your life. And by no means am I going to say that I have full control over my life, because I don't. But that's what this is all about, man. It's the relentless effort day in and day out to be a better version of ourselves. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. Things that I've been through already, things that I'm doing now, and things that I'm realizing as well throughout this journey of life. And more importantly, over like the last 10 years of my life. So we're going to hop into it, man. Last week, just to kind of recap, and if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out on Orange County's very own Instagram. We're going to get it on YouTube as well. That's my fault for not uploading it there, but we're going to get that up. And if you want to follow, it's at Orange County's very own, completely spelt out. I'll have it down in the description as well. Or you can see it on my personal page at Makai_Louie. But we were talking about taking ownership of our lives, taking ownership of our actions, taking accountability for the things that we do, the things we think about, and how we can alter that and really take control over that by the actions that we do every day, the habits that we build on, and the things that we do every single day that you have to do every single day to get to where you want to be in life, and be the person that you've been purposed and designed to be. So in a way, it's a slight follow-up, but not really. So we'll kind of hop into it, man. If you've been following me at all on my personal page, me and one of my best friends, Austin Milby, aka Cadence, we took a big leap, man, and started what's called 75 Hard. And if you haven't heard about it before, definitely go check it out. But I heard it through the grapevine, and there's a few friends of mine that might even watch this episode who have actually achieved the goal of finishing 75 Hard. And right now we're on day 31, so technically we're a full month through. And I wanted to talk a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I'm going to talk a little bit about why I did this challenge, why I wanted to do it, and what I've learned so far. So we're going to hop right into this. 75 Hard is a challenge that was created by the great Andy Frisella. He is the CEO of First Form. Take a look at his Instagram so you can learn a little bit more about him and his background. But this guy's real, man. He's real. He's real about what he created about this challenge, why he created this challenge, and the benefits that come from it that are extremely life-changing. I've listened to many podcasts of his. I have read his entire book about 75 Hard, and now I'm doing the challenge, and I'm not halfway through it, but we're 31 days in, and I've had some tremendous breakthroughs, man. First to kind of start off, the big reason why I wanted to do this challenge, I was ready to level up my life. I was ready to take ownership of my life, and take back ownership of my life. And this is where I'll kind of take it back a little bit. When I was up in college at NAU, there was a pivotal moment in my life where God came into my life and really woke me up. I might spend another episode or podcast talking about that experience specifically, because it might take a long time, but it was life-changing forever. I was finally given the realization of what my purpose was in this life, to impact others and be a light in the darkness of the world around us, and what we see, all the negativity, the lashing, the lying, you name it. And beyond that, at that time in my life, I was in a very dark place. I was heavily into drugs. I had just stopped playing football, something I was extremely passionate and loved. And for all you college athletes or athletes in general that had to stop because of an injury or Maybe you just weren't as talented to get to the next level, which is a very big realization for a lot of people. And when you pour so much of yourself into something, whether it's sports, whether it's a business, anything at all, and it abruptly ends, you feel lost. And that's where I was at. I had to end my career for health reasons. I had a very, very very bad back injury that put me out. And I chose to exit football because I wanted to pick up my kids when I grew up and live a normal life past it. But past that, I lost myself, guys. It was probably one of the most depressing times in my life. I was still extremely unhealthy, going from eating a ton, going from working out, being extremely active and eating and consuming a bunch of calories in a day to completely going cold turkey, not lifting a weight, not doing conditioning, not practicing, and living a normal lifestyle, working, and not knowing how to transition. And so I still kept all my weight. I was still 330 pounds. I started getting into drugs, and I was super depressed. I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what purposed me in life. I didn't know what to chase after. There was no competitive drive anymore. And as that time went on, I was still in a lot of pain. I was still having a lot of issues, but God found me. He picked me back up, and he put me right back online as to where I needed to go to further my life and start impacting others. And so part of that journey was losing 115 pounds. Like I had mentioned, I was 330 pounds when I ended football, and I knew I needed to change something, but there was something inside of me that didn't want to do it. Everything in me wanted to still sit there, even though I was in pain and knew that probably losing weight was going to help me. I knew that I didn't want to do it because it was going to be hard, that it was going to be challenging. But through this journey of losing that weight and just completely changing who I was as a human being, that's where I found myself, because I put myself in uncomfortable positions every single day, whether that was eating the same thing every day, drinking more than a gallon of water every day, not going out during my college years, not drinking alcohol, not smoking, not partying, and just being fully committed to changing myself and becoming the person that I wanted to be. And I found that. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because where I'm at in life, that happened probably 5, 6 years ago. And looking at my life now and the challenges and trials that I've faced until this point, I look back on that experience because there was a certain point when I achieved that goal. When I achieved the goal of losing over 100 pounds. And I knew when I hit that first 100, I said, I want to keep going. And then it got to the 115 and I said, okay, I've achieved my goal. But what I didn't do, this is where I failed. And this was a really good learning point for me now and where I am in life right now. That was it. That was hey, I'm going to hang my cleats up. I lost my 100 pounds. I'm going to hang the cleats up and forget about every single little thing that I did, all the habits that I got into and formulated and embodied in my daily actions. I'm going to just hang them up. Acting as if I literally did that without any of those habits of committing to all those things. I acted like that wasn't important, right? And this was the big turning point for me now, where I'm at in my life. From that time when I lost the 115 pounds, guys, even before that, and sorry if I'm kind of all over the place, but on top of losing football, I got into a relationship and was cheated on. So now, on top of the football depression, I now had relationship depression, and I literally lost all the confidence for myself in the world. And that was another big driver as to get me to where I wanted to be, which was change my entire life by physically demanding myself, by putting myself in situations where I had to aggressively implement self-discipline on a daily basis. But again, going back to what I've learned, right? Through that process, I did not do that in a sustainable manner. And the reason why I say that is because I kept that weight off and, was still embodying that personality, that person that wanted to impact, that person who wanted to keep driving and completely set a culture for whoever was there. It didn't matter if it was classmates, managers, professors, you name it, man. I wanted to be a light in the darkness or be and stand out because I knew who I was and the confidence that I had behind me. But again, I didn't think about it of a sustainable manner that I can, how do I hold this? How do I hold this position and grow from this? Grow from this point, right? For the rest of my life. I wasn't thinking about it in that way. I was thinking about it as I have a goal of losing all this weight and the way that I want to look. And I got there and that was it. And yeah, I was a little bit immature and I see that now. And again, for a few years, I was able to hold that weight off and I was still the same person. I was impacting a lot of lives. I was achieving a lot of goals, but slowly but surely, I was letting the bad habits leak back into my life. And the reason why I'm telling you this, guys, is because as that compounded, the little bit of, yeah, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, I'll have a drink. I'll go out and party, which are not bad things, right? But when they compound and it becomes a habit, that's when it got bad for me. And nothing changed drastically where I became partying and went back into drugs and stuff like that. That wasn't the case. But the goal of to be relentless in my pursuit of being the best version of myself was halted because I let those other habits come in. And that is the part that I've learned. Now, fast forward a little bit. I'm a single father. I'm working every single day. And my life is very different. There are new components to my life that I have to handle and be responsible for that I've never had to deal with in my entire life. And at the same time, I'm like, I got to figure this out. How am I going to figure this out? I didn't resort back to what made me great in the first place, which made me feel the best, which made me the most confident, which helped me achieve a lot of the goals that I ended up achieving. I didn't look back at that at first. And for a long period of time, I was missing something. I could tell every single day I woke up and I was like, man, I just don't feel the same. I don't feel the same like I used to when I was doing this. But still, I had blinders up from the habits and the different actions that I was doing to get me there. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because there was a pivotal moment when I hurt my back more recently. So if you follow me, you know that I just hurt my back for the second time. Very bad. Had to go to the ER and learned that I had 4 bulging discs in my lower back, which is where my previous injury had been. Very scary stuff, man. You know, now I have a child, right? When I was talking about wanting to be able to pick up my children later on in life, I was laying on the ground, not knowing if I could actually get up. And every time I would get up, I physically, with all my strength, could not get off the ground. And I was scared, very scared for I would say the second time in my life, where I thought this was the time that it was going to happen. And it woke me up. It woke me up because throughout COVID and even before that, when I started working a full-time job in adult life, in the real world, I stopped taking care of my back. I stopped working out as much as I used to. I stopped eating the right things. I stopped going to bed early. I stopped doing all the things that were getting me to the places I wanted to go. And when this back injury happened, that's when the light bulb flicked on. It said, okay, now it's time to reflect and look back on anything. I hate to say, like, it was a great thing that happened to me because, and I'm really, really grateful that this injury happened to me because it did wake me up. And it allowed me to see all the things that I forgot that got me to the place that I wanted to be. And during that time, I was actually supposed to start this 75 hard challenge that Monday when I hurt my back. And that Monday when I was going in to do my workout, I did not want to do that workout. So not only did I have a negative thought process, a negative perspective going into the gym, I was also supposed to start this program, and I failed to do that as well. And that was another wake-up call to me too, and said, today is the day. So I let my back rest. I did everything in my power to get right. I went to my chiropractor, shout out Dr. Hoops in Fullerton. He will change your life forever. Just want to shout him out, plug him in right there. But I gave it a week and I started that next Monday. And so did my buddy Austin. And I'll tell you right now, we're 31 days in, guys. This is life-changing for sure. Multiple breakthroughs on a mental scale, on a self-discipline scale. I mean, here's my thing. I don't want to talk about the challenge itself. because I'll probably do another podcast on this. But what I want to talk about is the fact that what I've learned through this is we need to set up our lives where we are legitimately relentless in our pursuit to be the best versions of ourselves. Back a few years ago, when I was in the process of doing that, I wasn't setting myself up for the rest of my life. I was setting it up for then. And that's the difference of where I'm at today with this challenge and what I'm trying to do. And the reason why I want you guys to be a part of this journey, because I am going to be relentless in this pursuit, because I know what happens when I stop. And that's the big key and why I wanted to share this. I am at a point right now, 31 days in, where, like, legitimately, guys, I know what my vision is in my life. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to look like physically. I know where I want to be financially. I know where I want to be on an impact level to the people I love and the people I haven't even seen or thought about yet or even met. And a big reason is because of this challenge, but also it was my decision. It was my decision to take control over it. I didn't say, hey, my back is hurt. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait another week to start. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to take a month off and just let my back heal. It was at that time when I said, it's done. I have done the most procrastinating that I could have done up until that point. And I was over it. I was tired of the man that I was looking at in the mirror. And I wanted to be better. I wanted to be better for my son. I wanted to be better for my family, but I wanted to be better for me, knowing that it was eventually going to trickle into everything that I cared about and loved. So that's the first part that I wanted to talk about, guys, is the main point of what I just walked through right there was through my first journey of losing my weight and and what I felt like was my first chapter of starting this journey to be the best version of myself. I didn't do it to a sustainable level. I didn't do it and didn't plan or strategize these actions and habits to say, hey, if I fall off, I need to go right back into these because this is where I found success. This is where I was able to love harder. This is where I was able to be more aware. My relationship with God was better. My relationship with everyone was better. My relationship to money, my relationship to success, everything was in a more controlled environment and in line with where I wanted to go. And because I didn't make that sustainable and I didn't do those habits and I didn't hold them in, I lost it. And so where I'm at now is understanding that there needs to be sustainable habits while I'm sweating. Sheesh. We getting in here. We need to create sustainable habits for the rest of our lives. It's just facts. And we have to stop giving ourselves excuses. We have to stop looking at other people's lives and thinking that we need to be them today. And that's where I wanted to kind of flip the script on this episode as well and talk about you and your life, me and my life, and where we need to go and what we need to do every day. Guys, what I'm learning and through this challenge as well is that in this life, the challenges and trials and the demons that we face will never end. Till the day that we are 6 feet under this ground, we will always have challenges. No matter what it is, big or small, we will always have challenges to get through. The moment we say, we've arrived or we made it, we lost. We lost. Doesn't matter if you're Michael Jordan or you're someone at the most elite level. As soon as you press off the gas, you lost. That's just my opinion. But that's also the mindset that I'm trying to embody for the rest of my life. There is no letting off the gas. There is no letting off the gas. It can't. Because at the end of the day, as soon as you release that pressure, all that stuff that's going to weigh you down starts trickling back into your life. And so in order to do that through my journey and what I've learned, it is the physical suffering that really helps me. And that's something that I wanted to talk about as well, man. When I originally lost all my weight at the beginning of my journey, I started to realize that being able to do the shit I did not want to do every day was making me a better human being. I did not want to wake up early in the morning and go on the Stairmaster for 20 minutes at the highest level just because I like to do it. If you'd like to do that, I don't know. We might have to get you checked out, because I don't know anybody that wants to do that. I still don't want to do that, right? Like I'm 31 days in. I got to work out twice a day. Majority of the time I wake up and I don't want to do it. But here's the difference in what I've learned. The more and more you fight that voice in your head and you just get up and go, and not just get up and go, but you put relentless effort into whatever you know you have to do, that is when you change. That is when you compound that battle. You take all those mini battles, right? It could be picking up a piece of tissue on the ground and throwing it away when you know you can, but you don't want to. It's the little things that are going to get you to where you want to go. And that's what I'm learning through this, man. The little minute details of every single day that I am now focusing on are helping me be a better person. And more importantly, the physical side. Guys, at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that you can do mentally to get yourself in a really good place. But when you physically suffer, when you go into the gym and you spend 20 minutes on a Stairmaster, in my opinion, bro, it's I was talking to my buddy Austin about this. Every second that goes by, I'm having a mental battle in my head. Oh, I can slow this down. I can just slow this down. It'll be okay. I can just stop this and just go hop on something else that's going to be a little bit easier. Literally every second I'm on that Stairmaster, I am battling my mental, like Andy Frisell likes to call it the bitch voice. I'm literally battling that every second on that Stairmaster. And in my opinion, when I look at it from my perspective, I'm now looking at the challenges that I just faced on this Stairmaster. It is allowing me to prepare for what life's going to bring to me. And this is where I wanted to bring that in, guys. The more suffering that you go through as a human being, the more you're going to be, it's like callus on your skin. Like when you're weightlifting, the more challenge you put yourself through, the more suffering you put yourself through. And in my opinion, the best outlet is physically, through working out and doing things you don't want to do. You are building callus on yourself so that you can handle the shit that life is going to throw at you. I'm sitting here right now. I'm only 24 years old. I'll be 25 in a few months. I have not lived a lot of life in my perspective. I'm very young and I'm grateful to be where I'm at right now. And I know there's a lot of life to live, and there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of challenge that's on the other side of the years that are to come. But what I'm doing right now every single day, and what I want you guys to do as well, is prepare yourself for those moments. Because the biggest thing that could hinder your life and where you want to go is to have a tragic thing that is inevitably going to happen to you. The loss of a loved one, loss of a job, a pandemic, which we have all embodied, right? And you're probably sitting here and being like, and trust me, I went through pandemic and took a few of those excuses as well with me too. But when those things happen, to put yourself in a position where you can relentlessly keep chasing after being the best version of yourself and not allow those things to take away from who you are, that's what I'm going for. That is the sustainable lifestyle that I'm going for. And I literally want to be in a position where when those things happen, yeah, I'm going to be emotional. I'm not going to be emotionless. That's not the point. That's not what I'm saying. I will be prepared so that those things will not break me. And I will lean on God more than anything, just like I do in everything else in my life. But at the same time, I need to be ready. I need to be ready. And the only way that I can do that is if I challenge myself to a level where my peers aren't doing it. And I know that I'm waking up every single day and chasing that when people might be sleeping. And that's not necessarily everything that drives me. But I want to be prepared for those moments. I don't want to allow those things to take away from who I am and the things that I'm trying to do and the impact that I'm trying to leave on this earth. We have been designed for more. And I talked about it in my last podcast. We were not born. If you were born, you literally are breaking records in regards to data and statistics. You literally broke the system. We are not supposed to be alive, but we are. And we should be grateful for that every single day. But we also should not live a mediocre life. I don't want you to live a mediocre life. I don't want myself to live a mediocre life. You know why? Because you were built for more. You were purposed for more. When you look at yourself in the mirror, there, like I was talking about the other week, there are things that we know that we have to do to make ourselves better. There is countless things that we can do, but what are you going to do about it? The first thing you need to do, you need to silence everything. You need to silence social media. You need to silence your friends. You need to quote unquote friends. You need to put yourself in a position where it's just you, and you need to figure out what your vision is in life. You need to figure out what your purpose is in life. And yeah, hey, I get it. It's hard. It's not an easy thing, but you need to do this, because the more and more in this type of world that we live in, where we have nonstop TikToks, Reels, Instagram lives, YouTube, you name it, everything is being poured into us and taking away from who you're going to be. If you don't know who you are today, that should be your number one goal. If you can't tell your friends or tell your peers or your inner circle who you are and what you stand for and what your purpose is in this life, that should be your first, and this should be your first goal without a doubt. And from that point starts your journey. You need to be able to understand what your vision is in life, and you need to attack it every single day. I'm telling you. And the best way to do that is doing things you do not want to do, things you hate to do, and do them every single day. Because at the moments that there are things that come up in life that you need to do and need to take action on, and you don't have time to think about it anymore, you won't need time to think about it. You will be developed, and you will have that callus on your life where you know exactly what to do, you know how to handle your emotions, and you can move forward, create solutions, and impact this world in a big way. So, guys, I have a lot of passion about this subject because I'm living it right now, and that's the thing I love about having this platform to talk, is because by no means have I made it. By no means have I arrived. By no means am I even close to where I want to be on a success, monetary, relationship level. I am not anywhere near it, but I want to share this with you guys because I know there's a lot of people out there who are just like me, in the sense of wanting to be the best version of themselves, right? You are on that path of wanting to be, and maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you're in the middle of it. You are going to be the one that makes it happen. It's not going to be listening to me. It's not going to be listening to other people. It's not even going to be listening to Andy Frisella or other people that, are helping change my life. The only person that's going to be able to do it is you. And it's through your actions, the things that you do every single day, the things you think about, the things you pray about, and the things that matter to you. And the more you take control of that and you create sustainable habits in your life to be relentless in your pursuit to be the best version of yourself, you are going to find happiness through that. I promise you. I promise you. And so I'm just happy you guys are coming along for the journey, man. We're going to be talking a lot about this, and I have no notes. I prepare very minimally for these videos and for these episodes because I just want to talk to you guys straight from my heart and the things that I'm thinking about and the things that I'm doing on a daily basis. And so, if this encouraged you and this hyped you up, man, let me know. Shoot me a DM on at Orange County's very own on Instagram, or you can hit me up on my personal page at Makai_Louie. Ask me about 75 Hard, what I've learned through it. Again, we'll probably have another episode where I talk about more specifically about it and the things that I'm really learning from it. But that one nugget that I've learned so far in this journey is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. There is no arrival. There needs to be a relentless pursuit, and that's what it's all about, baby. So I love you guys. Thank you again so much for your support, man. It really means a lot to me, and I'm so excited and feel very grateful and blessed that I have this opportunity. And I want to shout out my team, my boy Clayton White Stearman on the visuals, my boy Cadence for the studio, and just my best friends, man. So, and thank you to my mom and dad. Got to shout them out. You know what the deal is. And to everyone else that supports and loves me, man. Shout out my baby boy as well. Love you, boy. But we'll be back for some more content coming. Shoot me ideas, things you guys want to hear about. But nonetheless, we're going to be talking real. So that's it for me tonight. Again, this is Makai Louie, your host for Orange County's very own. And we'll see you guys soon.